This artillery strike was one of many. At age 24, Sergeant Graham Phillips of Westford patrolled the streets of Baghdad. His mission was to prevent violence.
Obviously, to prevent violence directed against U.S. forces, that's part of it, because we can't function if we're getting attacked all the time, but also to prevent violence between the various ethnic groups in Iraq, and violence against the Iraqi security forces, the army and the police forces.
A graduate of Princeton University, Phillips decided to join the Army between his junior and senior years.
You know, I've always thought that military service is an honorable thing to do, and that and I also felt that, kind of looking back 40 years down the road, I would kind of feel a sense of satisfaction about knowing that I gave this, that I made that sacrifice and was willing to kind of go out there for my country.
When Phillips arrived in Iraq, it was August 2007, a time when violence was at its lowest.
But at the time that I got there, it was starting to turn around, and the rates of violence were dropping significantly. So I just kind of heard horror stories, both from other units and people in the Army, and then also from what you read every day in the news, that would make you think that every time you go outside the wire, you're going to get shot at, or an IED is going to explode, or something crazy is going to happen, and that just wasn't the case. We would go weeks and weeks on end without any sorts of violent incidents occurring.
The city of Baghdad was, of course, war-torn and spread out, but what surprised Phillips the most was the amount of trash in the streets.
Nothing prepared me for that, not the kind of dirtiest American city I'd been in, even compared. There's just some of these basic services are not functioning.
Phillips hopes Americans will continue to pay attention to the war, whether they agree with it or not.
I think soldiers and all military service members, they do want to know that people back here are paying attention. And my feeling was always, I'm not saying that I think everyone should have to support the war, but just to know that people are thinking about it, that they're paying some kind of attention, that that it's something that they care about, is something that service members like to know, and makes them feel that they're not wasting their time and making these sacrifices for nothing. So I hope that people are paying attention and do stay interested in this issue.